This video is from the Life Universe correspondent, reporting news of Life Universe. Only look at yourself from start to finish. When you look at others, see only the good in them. The best way to the eternally happy Life Universe. We have been telling you to look at only yourself, from the beginning to the end. And if you keep practicing this, you will realize a deeper meaning. In the human world, looking at yourself matters. But looking at the other person matters even more. What do you see when you look at others? You make judgments about them, by pointing out their strengths and weaknesses. That's the dualistic perspective of Qigong time and space. We don't. We said, look at yourself only. Look at only yourself from the beginning to the end. What do you see in yourself? First, focus only on the good in yourself. Praise yourself, awaken your cells, and bring them joy. Second, no matter what others say, all you need to do is check. Am I always maintaining the absolute positive mind, or have I been drawn into the negative mind? This is how you observe yourself, and focus only on yourself. Therefore, when your mind is not caught up in anything, there's a deep peace and freedom no one else could ever truly understand. The principle is when you focus on yourself and do your best, the surroundings change as well, because we are one in absolute positivity. In the Life Universe, Ilchana, the One Life Universe mind is possible. Because everyone and everything in it is me. Therefore, there is only me. The reason is, even if I look around, everyone has the same mind as mine. So even though I try to see the dualistic mindset, I can't see it. That's why it is Ilchana. In the Qigong human life on earth, Ilchana is impossible. It simply can't be done. And even if it happens, it's only for a brief moment. View only the good things. If you still see outside yourself, it's actually not easy to put this into practice. Since we've lived in this imperfect Qigong universe, referring to the universe, stuck in time and space for so long, we hold on to the dualistic mindset of Qigong at first. That's why we need to train, to get into the Life Universe position. Let me give you an example. People say that wild ginseng is good for your health. So you go to the mountain to dig up wild ginseng. The goal is to find and dig up the wild ginseng. However, when you get to the mountain, you see a lot of grass around you. And start pulling it out, thinking the grass is hiding the ginseng. As I continue pulling out the grass, I forget about digging for the ginseng. Do I come here to dig the ginseng, or to pull out the grass? What did I come here for today? I am pulling out the grass, but the whole mountain is covered in grass. So in the end, I forget about the ginseng. This means, we get caught up in seeing the negative thoughts and dualistic mindset of others, suffering in this process, and forget to keep the absolute positive mind we should have. What do I see when I look at so many people? I see the ginseng in each person's mind. I only need to recognize that ginseng. Do I also need to acknowledge the grass? So I focus only on the good, and only look at the essential ginseng. When I focus on the ginseng, everything else naturally fades away. If we start saying who's wrong, and who's right in our gathering, then it's not different from any ordinary group. What makes our gathering different from those in Qigong? It's that we only see the good in each other, so there are no disputes. When beings who only see the good in everything come together as one, their light gets stronger, right? It becomes the straight light. Hence I only focus on the good when I look at others. Even if someone is 99% negative, I only view and acknowledge the 1% of absolute positive mind. I bring out 1% from each one of you, and keep putting it together. I don't even look at the 99%. This is only natural, from the perspective of the life universe. Usually people tend to see only the 99% wrong, with the dualistic mindset of ordinary humans. They keep nitpicking and pointing it out, while trying to fix others. But in doing so, they end up suffering themselves. They get upset that others don't listen to them. There's no need to be upset. Just stop looking at the negative things. If you must see, view and acknowledge only the 1% positivity, focus only on that 1%. Then you'll find peace. Let me give you a real example. We had a gathering in Busan. At that gathering, there was a business owner. The business owner who was studying with us said his employees wouldn't listen and were making things so hard for him. Therefore I told him to try changing his perspective. Even if the employees were 99% wrong, just recognize and praise only that 1% they do well. He said he understood and would try it. However, when he came back to the next gathering after implementing it, he said, no matter how hard I look, I can't see even 1% of good things. Hence I told him, that's because you're still only looking at what's wrong with them. You're the one who needs to change first. Change your perspective, and view things differently with new eyes. After trying for a while, he said he actually started to see some good. But he felt upset and didn't feel like complimenting them when he saw the employees doing bad things and acting poorly. Still, I told him to keep trying, to praise them constantly. But he said the employees started behaving even worse. That's a natural reaction. From the employees' point of view, the boss who used to only criticize them is now suddenly praising them. It's suspicious. They wonder what his intentions are, and feel even more uncomfortable. And of course, it's awkward for the boss too, since it's not something he's used to doing. Again, I told him to keep praising them consistently. And do it unconditionally and constantly, until things truly change. Don't force it, do it sincerely. And then, once he genuinely began to see only the good, and praise them with a true heart, the employees started to soften. They realized, the boss has really changed. Eventually, they apologized, saying they were sorry for treating him badly, and making things difficult. From then on, they did their best work, even when the boss wasn't around. What kind of situation is this? This is so touching. Did the employee change? Or did the boss change? The boss was the first to change. I changed myself first. So how important is the mindset? Let's create that kind of atmosphere here as well. If we firmly hold our position in the life universe first, then the awakened beings will naturally come and follow. It's such a simple truth, just acknowledge the good things, like wild ginseng. Let's live like that. Thank you, from the Life Universe correspondent.